Hello. Now is the time of year where strange things seem to happen. And so, as a public service from your Jackson Hinds library system, I'm going to tell you a story. My name is James Hampton. I'm a professional assistant here at the Medgar Library, and I've heard about things that can occur on cold autumn nights when the wind is blowing and the rain is falling and the darkness has come over the land. So let's sit back, gather around a virtual fire, and I'll tell you a story. This one has been known all over the southern United States by a couple of names. Some people call it the Three Cats. Some people call it What Happened One Night. But the way I heard it is called Wait Till Emmett Comes. Now some people say it happened in Virginia, and some people say it happened in Texas, but it might have happened right here in Mississippi. About 100 years ago, there was a Bible salesman, and he would travel the land, toting a bag full of Bibles, going door to door, town to town, selling what he could. And some nights, the wind would start to blow, and the rain would start to fall, and the temperatures would drop, and he'd be happy if he could just find an old barn or an old shed to curl up in and pass the night. On just one such night, the wind started to blow, and the rain started to drop in big, thick drops, and the temperature dropped to below freezing. And he said, I gotta get out of this weather. And he spied off in the distance an old house, and he walked up to that house with his bag full of Bibles, and he said, this must be providence. I'm out here doing a good work in my own way. I'm spreading the good news, so this must be my reward. I find a warm place to spend the night, and maybe the occupant of this house might even buy a Bible from me. So he knocked on the door, and lo and behold, as he knocked, the door slowly swung open with a creak. So he took a step inside and called out, hello. There was no answer. He walked inside, and guess what he found? A fireplace already lit and burning warm and bright, with a rocking chair sitting not far from it where he could rest his weary bones. He said, this is certainly providence for the good work I've been doing. He toted his bag of Bibles, went to the chair, and sat down. No longer had he sat down, then he started to feel kind of drowsy. So he doesn't know how long he's been sitting there. All he knows is that he wakes up with a start, because he sees in the darkness in the corner of the room some movement. What could it be? It's a big black cat. Walks across the room, goes over to the fireplace, knocks out one of the hot burning coals. He licks it and starts to play with it the way cats do. And he takes no notice of our friend, the Bible salesman, sitting there, until all of a sudden he stops and looks up at the man, and he says, wait till Emmett comes. Now, our Bible salesman had never heard a cat speak before, and he's certainly never seen one that could play with a hot coal. But he said, wow, that was strange. But I'm here doing good work. I've got the good book with me. I need not be afraid. So he starts to doze once again as the cat lays down beside the fire to sleep. A couple minutes pass, and sure enough, our Bible salesman wakes up because he senses movement off in the dark corner of the room. And lo and behold, what is it? Another black cat. This one is about the size of a German shepherd. And he walks past the man straight to the fireplace, paying no attention to the Bible salesman. And he pulls out some of the hot coals, starts to roll around in them, throw them up and play with them the way cats do, paying no attention to the man until suddenly he stops, looks at the Bible salesman, and he says, "Wow, what should we do with this one?" And the little cat that's laying there sleepily looks up at the bigger cat and he says, "Wait till Emmett comes." And so the cat walks over beside the little cat and he lays down to rest. Now the Bible salesman is a little bit concerned because he's never seen a cat that big that can play with fire and can speak. So he says, "That was strange. Let me grab one of these Bibles out of my bag and do something new and open it up and read a few passages. Nothing bad can happen to me while I'm reading a good word." So that's what he does. But he gets sleepy and he starts to doze off before he gets past Genesis 1:1. And all of a sudden he wakes up because he sees movement in the darkness in the corner, and another cat walks by. This one is as big as a panther, and he goes straight to the fireplace, grabs a log from the fire in his mouth, he flips it up, paying no attention to the burning flames. He plays with it the way cats do, and all of a sudden he stops and looks at the man, and he says, "Wow, what should we do with this one?" And the little cat that's laying there sleeping wakes up and says, "Wait till Emmett comes." And the big cat walks down beside his two companions and lays down to sleep. Now, our friend the Bible salesman closes his book, puts his book back in his bag, and he says, "Well, Mr. Katz, I appreciate your company, but when Emmett comes, tell him I had an appointment at St. Elsewhere, and he was out of there." And that's the end of the story. Wait till Emmett comes. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were entertained, and maybe you learned something. All right. Y'all be safe out there, and take care.